Hello, and welcome to another episode of Reading Reddit with Amber. Happy Spooky Sunday! Today we have another story from r/NoSleep. This one is part 2 of the story we read last week, which was, My sister-in-law keeps posting pictures of her baby on the internet and it's freaking me out. If you haven't seen that one yet, I would recommend checking that one out first and then coming back to this one. I use creepy music in the background for these videos. Because the sound intensity level varies depending on whether you are listening with headphones or without, I have developed both a version that is best with headphones and a version that is best without. Today's story is, My sister-in-law keeps posting pictures of her baby on the internet and it's freaking me out. Update. By Starving Novelist. Hi guys. Sorry for taking so long on the update to this post. I had to go back to work and it's been hard. Even worse, I think things with Tara have taken a turn. After the visit, we took the baby home and had a regular night. Jonah was being a normal baby, meaning there was no way in heck he was going to sleep through the night. Another night spent rocking him, alternating between nursing and changing depending on how he cried. Another night shamelessly scrolling through Tara's feed while Trevor slept in the other room. Except Jax was not in this picture. Neither was Tara. Oddly, front and center, dressed in a bunny onesie, there was a bag of flour. Jax just loves his costume from Baby Snugs. Thanks for the suit, y'all. Hashtag babies of Instagram. Hashtag mommy life. Hashtag natural babies. Hashtag best baby ever. It had to be a joke. It was a joke, right? I scrolled down, reading the comments like I always did. OMG, he is the cutest. Look at those cheeks. Gotta be so proud. So perf. I scrolled back up and stared at the picture a little longer. That was definitely a bag of flour. Another skim of the comments. Did nobody notice? I sat back on my bed and went through my feed again, just to make sure this wasn't some sort of elaborate prank Trevor had put together. Nothing else was amiss. I clicked through the baby hashtags. I went back on Tara's page. Heck, I even found the Instagram of the flower brand. Everything else was completely, utterly normal. Jonah whimpered, bringing me back to the present. I rocked him in his chair, humming under my breath a song from my own childhood until he settled back to sleep. I couldn't stop thinking about the stupid bag of flour. Even after I went back to bed, even when I woke up after fitful dreams, even when I sat across from Trevor and pushed around the eggs he'd made. I didn't ask him. If it was a prank, I wouldn't give him the satisfaction of thinking I believed it. And if it wasn't a prank, well, there were bigger issues. I comforted myself with excuses. It was my first day back at work. I was probably imagining things, worrying about being away from Jonah for so long. That morning, I put a suit back on for the first time since having the baby and drove Jonah to Mary's. Hi, I said when she came out of the house, letting her kiss me on the cheek. I handed the car seat over. And, because I had no self-control, how's Tara doing? Mary frowned. She went back to Charlotte, trying to do things alone again. She looked away, into the tree line. Said something about it being creepy here. Creepy. The woman's face flashed in my vision, obscured behind the spray of water as I tossed out the bucket. I looked over my shoulder, toward where Mary was gazing, but the forest was silent and empty. How odd, I said, turning back and stroking a finger down Jonah's cheek, over his pale rosebud lips. Is Jax okay? Of course, Mary said. Of course he is. At work that day, sitting at my desk, I typed flower bag baby into the search bar. There were a bunch of results. Teaching resources about how to run a project for high school health classes, tales of flower baby debacles, the like. Nothing about Instagram influencers. Nothing about swap outs. I sat back in my desk chair. For the first time in ages, I texted Tara. All good? Thinking of you. The response was almost immediate. Good here. If it was one time, it would have been funny. But then the second flower baby picture appeared on my feed. And the third. And the fourth. I had to tell Trevor. A few days after the first, I rolled over when he came back from feeding Jonah. Hey, have you heard from Tara? He groaned, throwing an arm over his eyes. Babes, it's 3 in the morning. I laid a hand over his chest. It's important. Have you? I talked to her yesterday, he said. She's fine. I pulled out my phone, scrolling onto her page, to the flower baby pictures. Then what about this? He squinted against the bright light of my phone display. It's 3 a.m, he groaned again, putting a hand over the screen. You've got to stop obsessing over Tara. He fumbled for the lock button and the screen went dark. My vision turned black, unable to adjust to the room. Trevor plugged my phone in, turning the screen down onto the nightstand, and pulled me back against him. Seriously, he said into my shoulder, already falling back asleep. His fingers traced the knobs of my spine. She's barely even real half the time. I laid for a long time, staring into the darkness of nothing as shapes took clarity. The lines of the nightstand, the curve of a lamp, the stuffed chair in the corner. My fingers twitched, so I pressed them against my empty, pillowy stomach. My phone was on Trevor's other side, too far away to grab. Every day, same routine. Wake up with Jonah, feed Jonah, rock Jonah, wake up with Jonah, snatch sleep when I could, when it found me, when Jonah's eyes were closed and I forced mine to do the same, somehow stumble back to bed, wake up with Trevor, eat, dress, take Jonah to Mary's. Do not think of the woods, do not look at the woods, do not search the woods, do not think of the woods. Drive to work, sit at my desk, scroll through Instagram, think about Tara, eat lunch, work, drive to Mary's. There is something in the woods, they are hiding. Are you afraid of the woods? Don't look at the woods. Eat dinner, watch TV with Trevor, put Jonah to sleep, put myself to sleep. Wake up. Always, always, always wake up. One night, through the slurried haze of it, I asked, do the woods around your mom's house ever creep you out? Trevor hesitated, changing Jonah's diaper. No, he said, considering it. But they always scared Tara. Do not think of the woods. For once in my life, I was the popular one in the office. Working for the accounting firm wasn't thrilling by anyone's imagination, but it was a steady income and it was a decent enough job with potential for promotions. Where I used to be ignored with barely a glance, my recent production of a tiny human suddenly made me a hot commodity. Every morning, at least one of the secretaries would pop over and ask to see a picture of Jonah. Oh, I said, fiddling with my phone, locking and unlocking it. Trevor doesn't want us to, showcase him. One by one they frowned. You don't even have a picture? I did, though. I had hundreds of pictures. Thousands. But none of them were great. He looked like a baby on the screen, which sounded ridiculous because he was a baby, but he didn't look like my baby. He looked like he could have come out of anyone. Round-faced, dark-eyed, a spray of darkening blonde hair. Like my genetics could have been taken out entirely, and he would just still be himself. Nah, I answered always. Eventually they all just stopped asking. And yet, every day it was the same. A bathroom break at 10, scrolling through Tara's Instagram for the first post of the day. Lunch break at my desk, eating a salad that was meant to put me back at my pre-baby college weight, scrolling through Google, flower baby, babies made of flour, trying to replace baby with flour, fake babies, another bathroom break in the afternoon, another scroll of Tara's feed. Guilty peeks during rush hour traffic when workday was over, more peeks when Trevor was cooking, when he was in the shower, when I was up feeding the baby at night, more Googling if there weren't any updates. Babies made of flour, swapping babies, fake babies, changelings. It was dumb, I knew, based on my frazzled, sleep-deprived theories and half-remembered stories told by my own mother when I was little. But I remembered them all the same. Fairies and trolls broke into houses in the legends and took babies for their own. In their stead, they left behind their own sickly children, if they could, or sticks and rocks glamored to look like human babies if they couldn't. Maybe, I thought, putting my phone away and setting Jonah back in his crib, they even left behind sacks of flour. I was careful when I drove to Mary's now. I watched the road. I watched the trees. Sometimes, out of the corner of my eye, I was just fast enough to see them shifting. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Currently, there is only one more part to the story, part 3, which I plan to cover next week, but let me know what you think. Thanks for watching and have a great day.